Hello and welcome to On Tap, the Patreon exclusive video podcast with a preview for our wonderful YouTube subscribers, where you can see the first part of this amazing podcast with our special guests every time we do them, and then all of the spicy stuff, the really interesting stuff you get if you're a patron. You can click the link in the description. And before we continue and we talk about this special episode and introduce our guest, I'd like to introduce the impresario of this particular Coliseum, my co-host Matteo Genovese.
Hello, guys. Hello, guys. I'm really excited today because, of course, first of all, it is Spiel season. So we started officially our Spieltacular season. And we can't, me and Way already can't wait to go to Essen. We're doing list over list about what we want to buy, what we want to see, who we need to speak to. But to talk about Spiel, and not only, we got someone that got foot on the ground because we got a real German.
An authentic German.
German.
I have beer with me. Now I'm an authentic German
Authentic German, absolutely. Sven,
hey guys.
We'll introduce you briefly as the creator of BrettBallet, a large, successful, and excellently entertaining German language YouTube channel. Sven, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, thanks that I can be here. I'm really amazed. It's so nice because you have visited us on or at Berlin BrettSpielCon. It was also really nice that you were on the stage with me and Thomas, and now I'm happy to talk with you about the German market and especially the Spiel, which is very famous and people are really waiting for it and for all the new games, and FOMO is triggering.
Yeah.
It's the real FOMO. It is the real FOMO. Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. Right, Sven, let's go through a little story of the positives of the show, because it is, as I'm hoping people know at this point, it is the world's biggest board games expo and convention. Every single company I feel like that has ever existed turns up at Spiel to showcase their new wares. From your perspective, as someone that's been a few times, can you tell us about your history with the show and what you think makes it so great?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I go to Spiel, I think, since 1993 or 1994. And yes, I'm old. Thank you.
Don't worry, me too.
But to be honest, I grow up, I think, 30 minutes from Spiel ago. I'm not living there anymore, but I grow up. It's called the Ruhrgebiet, and the Ruhrgebiet where Spiel happens. The city is Essen, and the Ruhrgebiet is like, I think it's a little bit like Birmingham or something in the UK. It's a very industrial part of Germany, and there I grew up. And it's so funny because my whole family hates the Spiel because I have birthday at start in November. And when I go to Spiel, it was always in mid of October. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depends when it is year per year. And I always, as a kid or as a teenager, I go to my whole family and I told them, okay, I need my presents now. And my present should be money. Can you give me please my money 2 or 3 weeks before my birthday? Because there is a Spiel. And my grandmother and my mom and my dad and everybody was, oh no, not again. Oh no, he will come around and beg for his birthday money. And this is my positive things I can remember with Spiel. But if you would ask my mom, she would say, oh my gosh, please. But it's so interesting how the things have changed. On one hand, I think this is the low-hanging fruit. We all know that the Spiel has growth very, very much in the last year. But when I remember back, board gaming was always a big part of Spiel. But when I go back in time, when I was starting to go to Spiel with 14 or 15, it was pen and paper role playing was very big at Spiel. I think no, it's coming back a little bit, but I think when I go back to the 90s, we have 2 or 3 big of the halls full of pen and paper stuff with the big companies, because we also in Germany have a big market of pen and paper with Das Schwarze Auge, the black eye, which is very famous. And then at the start of the 2000s, it's very interesting because then it was the start of Lord of the Rings, the movies. And then the LARP scene, the live action role-playing scene, was growing very fast in Germany. And then you have at Spiel 2 or 3 big of the halls just with LARP. There was so many booths with costumes and all the swords and for the live actual role-playing game. It was so big. And yeah, I think the last 10 or 15 years, it's that the board gaming is growing so fast that it is, I would say right now, 75 to 80% board gaming, and the rest is a little bit of LARP. Then you have, I think, pen and paper and all of that. And yeah, I think we all see that the board gaming industry is growing very fast the last years.
But especially,
that's really interesting.
Yeah, especially you guys, like in Germany, board gaming and in general hobby gaming, it's always been a thing. I think that's quite different from probably the UK, but or even Italy, where I grew up. That there were those things were there, but they were more niche than what they were in Germany.
Yeah, they took different forms, I think, especially in the UK. We've got much more of a history of wargaming, so it's also RPGs as well. But then tabletop board gaming was a bit later. That's interesting, Sven. That even Spiel itself, which me and Matt know is like the mecca of tabletop hobby board games, has changed form so much. Whereas previously it was much more potentially, even like a role-playing games type conventions. Now it's so much of a focus in tabletop board games. That's fascinating seeing the change of it.
Absolutely. And it's so funny. And like I say, I think we have in Germany the big advantage that we have really, really big German companies like Ravensburger, Cosmos, Pegasus, and much more that are very famous. We have very famous authors like Rainer Knizia, Uwe Rosenberg, and all of that. And it's so funny because my main job is not YouTube, thank God. I'm working in a video game industry, and it's completely different because German video games are shit. And we have Gothic, and Gothic is cool, but everything else in video games from Germany, the German market has never find a good way to make good video games. But it's completely different in the board gaming market. There we are very successful because I was 2 times at Gen Con, for example, and there the people are celebrating the German board games. And this is completely different. And I think it's really cool that we have such a good reputation for our board games all over the world.
Yeah, really amazing. You mentioned Gen Con there, Sven. I know you've been to all 3 of these shows. You've been to UK Games Expo, I think, for the first time this year.
Yes.
You were at Gen Con a couple of times, and obviously you've been a regular at the Spiel for many years. What makes the Spiel unique compared to those other conventions?
So I expected that you will ask that. And do you like Marvel?
Yeah, sure.
And you know the multiverse.
Yes, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Sometimes it feels when you go to the different conventions like you are in a multiverse.
Right.
On one hand, it feels the same. You have the same guys, you have the same companies, you have the same this passion for the hobby. But then you go on one side, on left and right, and say, what's happening here? That's completely different. I think it depends on the communities and how the people play. And I think that's the biggest difference. But I think the Spiel has, on one hand, the big advantage that it is, Gen Con is much more older than Spiel, but I think the Spiel has started very fast to get more this professional way, not so much to play at this convention. It's like if you go to the biggest shopping mall you can imagine to get all the new games. And when you go to Gen Con and when you go to UK Games Expo, you have this big halls just with tables to play around. It's more this convention feeling. And the Spiel is much more like the biggest shopping mall for board games all over the world. And you have to be there to be into it and speak about it. It's a, like I say, this FOMO thing is that you have to go there and have this feeling. And I think what I really like about Spiel and on all the exhibitors and all the things, because for me, I'm on one hand, I'm a content creator, but I look really, really much of other content creators and to get a feeling what could be the hot shit this year for Spiel, which could be the hidden gem. And at the end, it's so often that I have my list with the games, and I know people are speaking about like Fire Swamp, for example, right now, and the new game from the Revive guys, and all of that. You have these things that if you go on BGG, you have this top list, and but at the end, the magic is to get the game no one have heard of before, and then at Spiel say, "Hey, have you played this? This is so fantastic." I can remember, I think it was 2 years ago, no one has the game Far Away on the list. But then at the convention, people, "Hey, have you played Far Away?" Far what? Far Away. It's was so fantastic. And then people tried to catch it, and it was sold out. And then people, "Oh, where can I get it? Where can I get it?" And it was so crazy. And I think I really, really love this when you see, okay, these are the hidden gems. No one expected to have such a success at the end.
Magic. I think we had a similar conversation. We were normally those conversations will happen at the airport, flying back from Essen, because last time it was us. There was Rob from Zatu Trade. There was Tom from Shut Up and Sit Down, and we were kind of like, "Oh, have you seen this game? Oh, have you seen that one? Oh, look at this, look at that." It's really interesting. But yeah, as you say, there is a lot of FOMO, and I definitely feel it. I definitely feel it. I'm a sucker for FOMO. Luckily, Wayne is a little bit more.
I feel it too.
Of the two, Wayne, between us, Wayne is the not the calmer one, but because he's get really excited. But it's the one that I'm going like, look at this, and he's like, "Are you sure about it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe it's not that." But no, that's great.
Go on, Matt.
No, but talking about that, I think that's what you wanted to introduce. So talking about hidden gems. So I want to touch a little bit of what maybe is a con of Spiel, and not Gen Con, a con, like a negative bit. Do you still feel that Essen Spiel actually support the small publisher and designers? Do they get a Spiel the visibility that they get somewhere else sometimes? Or because it's, again, as you say, Spiel is big brand, big, the stands are like humongous, like you're never gonna see in anywhere else. And I feel always like the small ones might suffer even more than other places like BerlinCon or UKGE or Gen Con.
I'm completely with you, but I think it depends. I see both sides because I'm also part of the Berlin BrettSpielCon. We know from many smaller publishers that say, okay, Spiel is not so good for us because on the one hand it's expensive. On the other hand, we are in big competition with so many other exhibitors, and it's really hard for us. On the other hand, I think here is the point that I'm a marketing guy. It depends on the story you tell. Because I think it could be also a good chance for you if you promote your game, especially your new release, if you promote it good enough that people want it, that you are, I think that you are high on a board game BGG list, that you work together with content creators before that play our game, and in the best case it's a good game and people say, "Hey, this is really cool, it could be a hidden gem." Because for me, when I have a really good game from a small publisher, I feel really much more better to hype it more because I really like it to support the small publishers. Because to be honest, when I have a new game from Asmodee or Cosmos or some of that, I know you will get the game after the fair without any problems at Satu or Amazon or something like that. But to get it from a smaller publisher, it's all on one hand, it's not so easy to get. They have a smaller print run. It could be really be very fast sold out. And if this is really, really good, I think I feel I have another motivation to say, hey, go to them because this is really good. This is a one or two man company. Help them, support them. They have the heart at the right place. Go to them. This is a cool game. And I think if you are smart enough as a small publisher to use all this PR and marketing stuff, and you know you have a good product, then it could be a really, really good chance to be at Spiel, to connect with so many people. But yeah, it depends.
I think that's a good point, Sven, that you make, because it's not just necessarily, oh, yes, it is a massive shopping mall, like you say, but it's also a business to business venture,
Yeah.
right? So this is maybe a great opportunity for those smaller publishers to maybe get their game out there in front of other companies who might be interested in picking it up and maybe doing releases elsewhere or localizing it or something like that. So yeah, I think like you have to be in it to win it, right?
Yes.
If you're not there, then you would never get that opportunity. So sometimes it might be worth the risk in paying to
And
be there.
And I think what's very interesting is, and a fun fact, I think that not so much people from outside Germany know that. So I'm not sure, but I have spoken to some and they were really surprised because when I go for the first time to Gen Con and then for UK Games Expo this year for the first time, my first thing was I go on BGG and was searching for a pre-order list, and there was nothing, or just with one or two threads. But at Gen Con and UK Games Expo, there's such a small amount of pre-order opportunities. And if you go right now to BGG and search for the pre-order thread, right now there are 71 companies that offer pre-order for pick up the games. And I think this is very interesting because I was totally shocked because, yeah, the FOMO kicked and I was searching for Gen Con and UK Games Expo. Hey, where's the pre-order? Because when I know I have pre-ordered this game, I can go around to look around. I don't have the stress to run to this booth and run to this booth and try to collect the game before they are sold out because I know, hey, easy, I have pre-ordered it. And this was really interesting that I only see this in this big part at Spiel.
Yeah, it's definitely way more common at Spiel than anywhere else, and good thing too, because what we've Matt and I have seen in the years that we've been, and me a couple more years, is that when you've got a big hyped release, people rush to it, and it will be
Mhm.
sold out day
I
one.
mean, we were there. We were there
Yeah, we were
fighting
there.
for some of the games. Yeah, I'm like, it does happen. So that's a great thing. But and I feel, but yeah, UKG we saw, yeah, as you say, a few pre-order, but I'm expecting next year to see way more because
Way more.
UKG they got their presence as well at Spiel. They got their little stand. They learn a lot. They're learning a lot from Spiel. Hopefully they're just gonna learn the good stuff, not just the not the
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk and they'll move into some other challenges, I guess. We talked already about that rush for new games, right? And we get that mostly because October is like a release rush, right?
Mhm.
So it feels like every big publisher, even small publishers, even indies in some instances, will target the Spiel as their release date. And sometimes it's a release at Spiel 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 months in advance of a wider release. Does that October release rush, do you feel that hurts games or hurts the industry more than it helps it if those games might otherwise stand out at different times of the year than being forced to release at Spiel?
So I have to start with another point, because I think this is not only a problem from the board game industry. I think this is a big problem also when come back to my main job, the video game industry. It's the same there, that you have all these releases like a Battlefield, like a Call of Duty, and all of that, and you think, who should play that? Why? I hate this. I think Spiel is a little different. But to come back first to your main question, yes, I think this is bad and not the best thing. But on the other hand, I think I can understand it. I don't like it, and I think it is not good for the industry. But on the other hand, I can understand it, because when you see that Speed has around, I think, 200,000 visitors. I know from so many companies, German companies, English, UK, US, and all of them, that they say we take the expensive prices of airmail or to bring the trains, the game by trains, to sell it at Spiel, because on the one hand, it's our biggest part of the year where we can sell so many games, and on the other hand, it's not just about sell the games, it's all about marketing, because I know we only can, for example, sell 200 games, but people speak about the game, people hype it. It will be have a good placement on BGG. I will have some videos of content creators that get the game. And then when there is a normal release 1 or 2 months later, it's completely hyped. I can remember, I think it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when Ark Nova was released. They also have around, I think, 300 games, and then the normal release was, I think it was really late. I think it was in February or something like that. But till then, the game was totally hyped. If you have the luck to find someone on eBay that has sold it, if you have the luck, it was around 150 or 180 euro, and you have to click it. Yeah, I want it. Give it to me, like the drugs here. I need this game.
I think you got a more serious problem if it just be like that.
Yeah.